Hello everybody! It is Mika Rocket Jacobson and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome to my little space where I share about new mamahood, family, faith, and fun. Today I'm going to try to jam pack a lot of stuff in one video, but one of the stuff we're going to talk about today is my 35-week pregnancy update along with a belly bump update. And as requested, I will be sharing some TMI embarrassing pregnancy information, I guess. And I will also be doing a pre-pregnancy clothing challenge. I think that's what it's called, where basically I'm gonna try my best to fit in some of the clothes I had before I was pregnant. So let's get to it. For the 35-week pregnancy update, to start, my Ovia app, and I guess researchers and books say that the baby is about 18 inches long and about 5 pounds now. He is the size of a basketball hoop. I, on the other hand, have gained a lot of weight, and I actually had my prenatal appointment today, and my doctor told me that I need to exercise. The amount of weight I've gained, I am currently 162 pounds, and I think I started at like 120. So I can't math. I have to edit and do the difference here, but I've gained a lot. But yes, everyone is healthy. I'm healthy, the baby's healthy, and I believe after a week from now, when I'm like 36 weeks, I'm gonna be seeing my doctor every week for the checkups, just to make sure everything's all right and that I am not about to give birth, I guess. Now for baby movements. Our little baby has been moving quite a lot, and he is not just kicking or poking me, but he is moving. Like, I can't even really describe how it is, but it's just way more than it ever was. And like, it's so much more that my belly literally moves like there's an alien inside of it. Maybe a few weeks back, there were many times I would have to like stretch and do this because I just really felt like I needed space, I needed room in my right rib section. But then maybe the past week to up to now, I don't feel that anymore, and I really feel like he's probably lower just because I don't feel that anymore. I'm not as out of breath as I used to be, and I really just feel like my bladder and vagina region is being pushed. And today at the checkup, I also asked about the baby's position, and so she was feeling him, and she said that somewhere on top are probably his feet or a foot, legs, and then she could feel his head being lower, which is amazing because then I thought I was feeling that too, but then, you know, I'm not a doctor, so I didn't want to assume anything. But I did feel like Bodhi's head is more towards the lower right area of my womb. Another thing I've been feeling a lot more of are Braxton Hicks. And of course, if you're a mom or a new mama and you're at this point of your pregnancy, you already know what that is. And I don't know how to describe it, but they're like fake contractions, I guess. And I've been feeling a lot more of that, and they're just stronger. But then they are clearly not labor contractions, but they for sure have increased in intensity. And then another thing too is like a cramp. Like I've been, and this is super recent, like probably this week, like this 35 week mark, I've been feeling like period cramps, and that's like on top of the Braxton Hicks also. So I've been feeling a lot going on down there, and like really, I was just telling Bobby yesterday, like if I had no idea where in the pregnancy I was, like I really, like with what I'm feeling, I really would be able to say that this is towards the end of it, just because I feel everything just going more low and the pains just lower and stronger. Like literally there was one time I felt something in there in my uterus or womb, I don't know, in that area, and I really had to check if a foot came out of my vagina because it really felt like something just like decided to come out, but there was nothing. It was just pain. Insomnia, that has been coming back kind of, in a sense that so it's been harder to go to sleep just because I'm physically uncomfortable. Like I don't really know how to sit just because there's no room for my bump to like be free. I don't know, it's just not so comfortable. But once I fall asleep, that's all great. But then it's those moments when I have to wake up to go pee, when going back to sleep can be very difficult. It's kind of a hit or miss. It's not like that every day, thank the Lord. But there are days when I'm just like, well, I might as well be awake. I just had to pee. So sometimes now I like don't want to pee because I'm just like, just hold it in. So I don't have to wake up with the possibility of remaining awake after that bathroom break. Another thing I've been feeling is acid reflux. I think that's what it is, but a lot of other moms have been telling me that they've experienced that like a lot throughout the pregnancy, and I never really did until recently. And I really noticed it when I eat cheese or dairy, but mostly like cheesy things, and it usually happens at night, probably because we eat cheesier things for dinner. Sometimes I feel like vomiting, but it's really not, and it's just like a bunch of like burps and gaggy feelings. And speaking of vomiting, I have not done that this week, but actually I think it was right after I filmed my last pregnancy update video. I think that was the 33rd week, I'm not sure, but literally the day after that video I was so nauseous that I had to vomit, and that was my first time vomiting throughout the pregnancy. So, you know, it was like a milestone that I wrote down in my journal. And then that happened again maybe a week later. But so far this week that has not happened. I do get nauseous, like very, very nauseous when I'm very tired, and I just like know I've done a lot mentally, especially with technology, and I guess emotionally, like when I hang out with people a lot, like that kind of takes a toll on me. And then combined with just physically doing things, and then I'm just like, I'm so tired, and then I get very, very nauseous, and I just need to like curl up in a corner. And then of course my lower back and hips have been hurting way more than they ever did in this pregnancy, which is, I guess I feel very blessed that I didn't experience that. Like I really was quite scared for my lower back just because I've always had issues there. But thankfully they only started to hurt now, and I have like a month more to go, so yay. And it was perfect timing too, because Aeroflow, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but they are like a third-party pregnancy company that helps you get things through your insurance, I guess. But anyway, I got my breast pump from them, and they recently sent me an email saying that I was eligible to get a belly band support thing. And I did have to pay like $13, but this thing costs like way more than $13. And so I got it. And this basically supports your lower back, and it helps your body hold your belly up. And you can adjust the side garters depending on how much support you want. But this has helped a lot with just relieving pressure off my back and just, I don't know, giving my lower back a break. So far, this has been a lifesaver, and if you go through Airflow, you might get it for free or not have to pay so much. So check it out, and I will put the links in the description below for Airflow so you guys can see what the company is actually about and how you can get this little guy. Another thing is swelling. My feet thankfully have not swollen up, but then I've just noticed my fingers, I think it's like towards the end of the day, like before bed, that they just feel chubbier than usual and like tight. And then another thing too, which usually wakes me up at night or when I try to take naps in the day, are just my, I don't know what they're called, but like, you know, when your limbs like die or they get like tingly and they feel really numb and dead. They've been doing that. So like when I stay on one side, this hand dies, and then I have to wake up and then like move to the other side, and then this hand dies, and then I have to keep flipping. So on top of my belly, you know, just being uncomfortable being in one side, it's also now my hands. But yeah, other than that, everything seems pretty fine. I guess now for the TMI and embarrassing pregnancy stuff, which I think might not really be so much. Like, I'm not sure if I should be experiencing more embarrassing pregnancy things, but well, here they are, just because someone suggested for me to share that, and I think that's a great suggestion, because I feel like if you're a new mom, these would be good things to know. And I guess these are things people don't usually tell you in a short, shallow conversation, and maybe not a lot of people talk about it. So one TMI would be, well, since the beginning of my pregnancy, I started to get a lot of back acne. And the thing with me, when I get pimples or any like scratch on my body, I tend to scar a lot. Like now being in the 3rd trimester, I don't think I have as much pimples, like fresh pimples coming out, but there are just all the scars from the beginning of this pregnancy. And I'm gonna show you, because I'm actually wearing like a razor back, but they're just like I don't know, I just feel like they're grosser in person. Maybe like the lighting's making it not so gross, but basically I got back knee. It's so sad. And scars. Another embarrassing thing, my armpits are just darker than usual. I'm very embarrassed about them that I'm not even gonna show them, because that is one thing that I was very proud of all the time. Like when I lived in the Philippines, I actually got like laser treatments done. And if you notice, I'm quite like, I've got lots of hair. Like I don't draw on my eyebrows. These are just like real hair. And I used to have a unibrow growing up, so I'm like a hairy person. And I got laser treatments on my pits, my legs, and like a Brazilian. So, you know, I wasn't very hairy anymore. And then I got pregnant, and then all the hair started growing back again. And for some reason, my armpits are not growing that much hair like they used to, and I don't shave, okay? But they're just dark. Now, I think that's because, like, that's genetics, and that's because of my skin tone. Like, I'm not a fair person, so I guess that's just happening to my body. So yeah, my armpits are dark. Oh, also my armpits are fluffier than usual. Like, they're just chubby. That's probably because I gained weight. Guess this one's not really like, oh, shocker, but I have stretch marks and I feel like a zebra, but it's okay. Like, I don't think that even really bothers me a lot. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't plan on wearing like a bikini ever. I don't think bikinis are my thing anymore. It's a thing of the past. Yeah, I have stretch marks and they're like purplish, like brown purple. That's probably because of my skin color again, but I have them on my boobs, and that's where they first started too. They were like there, which I guess means my boobs are bigger. Yay. And then like, I don't know what this is, like my hip right there, kind of where the belly band support goes. Yeah, I think that's really it. So yeah, I got stretch marks, but I don't think that's really TMI. It's like almost a normal thing to get when your body's stretching. Another one, which I would say if you're a guy listening, you could stop listening now and you could skip to the clothes part. But so this one might be like TMI. It's TMI, so we'll just whisper. But it's about vaginal discharge. Now, if you are pregnant, you should expect that, and I'm gonna read why, because I'm not a science major, but it's something about like the woman producing a lot more estrogen. So as a result, we have this milky white discharge called leukorrhea. It helps prevent any infections traveling up from the vagina to the womb, and it usually occurs in the beginning of the pregnancy and in the last weeks of pregnancy. So that's been happening, and I've always been one to wear panty liners, so that's not really like a big deal, a big change for me. But you know, just FYI, nobody told me about that, and I just, you know, experienced it, and now I'm sharing it with you. So get ready and buy some panty liners. Oh, and I guess for the last embarrassing thing, but I'm not really embarrassed to talk about this, is farting. I've always been a great farter. You could ask my sister. But in the last few weeks, past weeks, I have been farting a lot more. And I really think also it's the cheese. Or I don't know, I've been eating not more cheese, but just how my body has been responding to cheese, or responding to like unhealthy food like cookies. I think it was one, cookies and cheese. Yeah, usually when I eat those, it's either like at night or in the morning I fart more. So yeah, I'm just like, I've been gassier, but ouch. But yeah, I think that's all the embarrassing and TMI pregnancy information I have to share. If I remember any, I will share that in my next video and not put that in the description below. And now for the pre-pregnancy challenge trying on of the clothes thing. So what I'm gonna do is show you a picture of me pre-pregnancy wearing the outfit, and then I'm gonna come in here and be in that outfit. Okay, so for the first outfit, I was literally exploding out of these shorts. Okay, just an FYI, I did not wear that outfit going out. I took that picture because I was trying to sell the shorts on Poshmark. But yes, as you can see, I still have not sold the shorts, and I don't think they're even on Poshmark. So clearly I'm quite large. I can't believe the shirt actually like fits. It's probably all the ruching on the side. But yes, here we are. Now for the next outfit. Okay. Oh, oh, my armpits. I can't even. Okay, I can't. I'm gonna rip the dress if I keep trying any harder. But like, these are supposed to go over my shoulders. That's not happening. It has a zipper on the back that's supposed to be zipped up. But I can't reach it, and I cannot close it. But wow. We could just pretend that it fits me. Oh. Okay, we did it. Huh. Interesting. I feel like this outfit would be super cute if only my pants weren't torturing me. It's so interesting. You know, putting on pants, I literally felt my child participating in that and telling me not to put them on. So I'm not gonna keep them on for too long, and I'm gonna hold them so they don't squish my body so much. But here's that outfit. Oh, so cute. This turtleneck's pretty stretchy. It's just not long enough. And here are those pajamas. Okay, they're not really, I mean, these are pajama pants, but this is not a pajama top. Oh, oh my goodness. I can't even pull this over. Oh, I can. I can kind of, but it's squishing my baby. Okay. Here is that. Oh, I just feel like a bear. Here we have a more normal outfit. Is it normal? I'm not so sure. But I don't feel like it's torturing me, or it's not torturing my baby. But it's just really tight. And you can see my belly button. which has gotten very dark. Here we are. How fun. This shirt is actually Bobby's shirt too, and I stole it and I still have it. So in that picture over there, that was taken 2 days after we found out we were pregnant. And I was taking that just because I was trying to suck my belly in and there was that part that was remaining, and I was like, what is that? Is that my baby? And of course I found out that that was just gas, but it was just so interesting to see that. But yes, if you notice, I guess I just normally wore bigger clothes before, so maybe this challenge is kind of unfair, but I wore this 2 days after we found out we were pregnant, so this is kind of not part of the challenge, but I just wanted to do a comparison with that photo and me doing this one. And then I had a bunch more costumes that I actually wanted to try on to show you, you know, the difference. But for one, I couldn't find the pink outfit. And then when I did find them, I realized that I literally cannot fit in them. Like, I cannot, it's like only one leg can fit in each of these outfits, and I don't want to rip them just because they were very expensive. So I'm not gonna do that, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing my pregnancy updates and the embarrassing stuff about pregnancy, and I hope you enjoyed seeing the before and afters in the same outfit. And if you are a new mom and new to this channel, congratulations, and I'm so grateful to have you checking out my channel, and I really hope that through my journey you guys get to learn more about yourselves, about pregnancy and mamahood and everything else in between. I'm so tired now, but that was so fun. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you again later. That is all, folks. Till the next time, goodbye for now.